Leonardo da Vinci's mind was like the flow of the rivers he observed, always in motion. Yet this motion was not a storm. It was like the gliding of a deep, wide, and calm river. Today, I invite you to 15th century Italy, to the very heart of the Renaissance, into the silent and wonder-filled atmosphere of Leonardo's studio. Gently close your eyes. Allow every part of your body to soften. We are embarking on a journey to a time when time flowed much more slowly, where every stroke of a brush, every flutter of a bird's wing, and every drop of water was accepted as a miracle. The room is slightly cool, yet it holds a peaceful warmth. The first light of morning entering through the window illuminates the dust motes, making them shimmer like gold dust suspended in the air. Even the slow, swirling descent of these motes was a lesson in geometry for Leonardo, a secret dance of nature. Leonardo moves slowly in his heavy, handmade wooden bed. He does not open his eyes immediately. For a while, he just listens to the sounds in the room. He hears the soft murmur of the Arno River splashing against the rocks in the distance, and the ethereal song of birds calling to one another in the morning chill. To him, these sounds are not mere noise. They are the first notes of the complex and perfect music of the universe. He takes a deep breath. The room smells of dried mountain herbs, fresh parchment, a hint of linseed oil, and old wood carrying the knowledge of centuries. This scent is the aroma of a creator's sanctuary, the scent of peace and infinite curiosity. The act of rising from bed is as slow and controlled as the flow of water. When his feet first touch the cool stone floor, that momentary shiver is replaced within seconds by a sense of being grounded, of taking root. The touch of the fine, hand-woven linen garment against his skin is as light and soft as a feather. Leonardo is in no rush. He knows that time is not an enemy, but a wise friend. He walks with slow steps toward his desk. On it lie dozens of notebooks, inkwells, smooth stones collected from nature, dried plant roots, and sketches of intricate machines. He slides his fingertips over the rough surface of a piece of parchment. The texture of the paper awakens the sensitivity in his fingers. Every touch is a discovery, every contact a salute to the invisible architecture of the world. He spends the first hours of the day by the window, watching the smallest details of nature. Today, he imagines the upward climb of water within a plant's stem. He thinks about how the silent movement in the veins of plants harmonizes with the flow of blood in human veins. He brings his silverpoint stylus to the paper. The slight, almost inaudible scritch of the stylus against the paper breaks the silence but also deepens it. Scritch, scritch. This sound is the sound of a thought transforming into a tangible form. The hand holding the stylus moves like the most delicate scale in the world. No line is accidental. Every curve is the result of deep respect and admiration for nature. Every time he touches the stylus to the paper, he feels as if he is gently unraveling the most intimate secrets of the universe. The scent of the paper and the smooth glide of the silver quiet all external noise in his mind. Toward midday, he moves to the deeper part of his studio, the section with paints and large canvases. Here, the air is denser, more characteristic. The sound of the heavy marble mortar he uses to grind pigments echoes in a steady and hypnotic tempo. Thump, thump, thump. The rhythmic sound of crushing blue stones, dark earth tones, and plant essences sends him into a deep meditation. He patiently grinds the lapis lazuli stone to reveal its deep midnight blue. Preparing paint is not just a technical task for him.
It is touching the heart of nature, awakening its colors. He watches the thick, fluid, and brilliant consistency that forms when he mixes linseed oil with the pigment powder. When he takes the brush in his hand, the outside world vanishes completely. Like the famous Sfumato technique he applies to his canvases, the sharp lines of the day, the worries and the questions slowly blend into one another, softening and transforming into peace.
Leonardo never rushes when painting a shadow. He can wait for hours, even days, to find that magical point where light and shadow meet and boundaries disappear. Every stroke of his brush is like a breath. It touches the canvas, spreads slightly, and gently withdraws. This movement is as calming as the rhythm of a lullaby whispered to a babe. Every detail he observes pulls him a little closer to the center of the world, to that absolute tranquility. As he thinks of the silent mathematics of water forming a vortex, the storms within him also subside one by one. He knows that everything is connected. The flickering of a star in the sky and the falling of a leaf to the ground occur within the peaceful arms of the same universal laws. As the sun slowly retreats behind the Tuscan hills in the afternoon, the studio is bathed in the softest tones of orange, amber, and purple. Leonardo takes a break from his work and goes out into his garden, into the open air. The sky is a vast and peaceful manuscript rewritten every evening for him. He watches the clouds gliding through the air, shifting from form to form. As the clouds disperse and change shape, Leonardo allows all rigid thoughts in his mind to disperse as well. The damp coolness of the grass under his feet creates a wave of relaxation that spreads from his soles through his entire body. His shoulders drop, his hands hang freely at his sides. This great, all-encompassing silence of nature fills his entire soul. The violet haze settling over the hills casts everything into a dreamlike atmosphere. He takes a deep breath, inhaling the scent of cypress trees and fresh earth. Everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is a peaceful part of a magnificent balance. With the last light of day, his steps lead him back inside to his sanctuary. Instead of lighting candles, he enjoys the mystical atmosphere offered by the twilight. These are the hours when thoughts also become sfumato, misty and light. He sits at his desk and takes the final notes of the day. His handwriting flows from right to left in his unique style, readable only in a mirror. The dance of the pen on the paper is now much slower, much deeper. Every word is written with the gratitude of giving meaning to one more day, of noticing one more mystery. In the corner of his notebook, he writes this note: "A well-spent day brings happy sleep." This sentence is the summary of his entire life and his current peace. Watching the ink soak into the paper and slowly dry to a matte finish gives him an indescribable sense of satisfaction. As the night progresses, the shadows inside the studio lengthen, corners become indistinct, and everything softens. Before going to bed, Leonardo looks out the window at the infinite sea of stars. Those distant, flickering lights remind him of how magnificent the universe is, yet how safe and sheltered a human is within this order. The Milky Way flows silently across the sky like a river of light. Like a ship approaching the harbor slowly and safely after a long journey, he moves toward the still and deep waters of sleep. He removes his clothes with great serenity, placing each one carefully in its place. This is the ritual of shedding all the roles and burdens of the day. As he removes each layer, he sets aside the responsibilities of the world.
As he lies in bed, the fresh and cool texture of the linen sheets greets his body like a friend. This coolness instantly absorbs and carries away all the fatigue of the day, all the physical weight. As he rests his head on the soft pillow, the whispers of the night birds and the wind now seem to come from very far away, from another dimension. Leonardo closes his eyes. Darkness for him is not an end, but the silent beginning of new discoveries on those magnificent canvases of dreams. The sharp lines he drew all day give way to soft clouds and color transitions in his mind.
His breath is as deep, solemn, and regular as the flow of the Arno River for thousands of years. His chest slowly rises and falls. With every breath, that ancient silence of his studio spreads into his veins, his muscles, and his bones. In his mind, there are no longer the flutters of wings or complex equations. There is only pure, heavy, peaceful, and velvety sleep. Leonardo feels with his entire being that he is a part of nature, just like the turning of the seasons, just like the rising and setting of the sun. The sacred time for rest has arrived. His body sinks a little deeper into the bed. His limbs become as heavy as stones. Like a stone sinking slowly, gliding to the bottom of a clear lake, Leonardo descends into the depths of consciousness, into that safe and limitless region of dreams.
Sleep covers you slowly, like a heavy velvet curtain. In the miraculous lightness of a bird's wing, in the clarity of a drop of water, you glide toward an eternal rest. Just as the candle in Leonardo's studio slowly goes out, the wick glowing one last time before leaving its place to a deep darkness, the last lights in your mind give way to this immense peace. Now there is only silence and the sense of infinite security within this silence. Leave yourself to this sacred flow. Rest in peace. Sleep awaits you. All discoveries are complete. All lines are drawn. Now it is time for a deep and healing sleep. Good night.